Hello, I'm Shreya Thomas, year 15 CA001, and today I'll be explaining the third experiment of networking, that is based on IP addressing and subnetting. So here is the question given, that is the number of subnet needed is 3 and the number of needed usable host is 45 and the network address is given to us. Now it asks that it needs 3 subnets, so we'll be borrowing 2 bits. 2 bits mean we'll have total of 4 subnets and we'll have 6 subnets, 6 bits left, and we will be having total 64 host addresses, that is 2 to the power 6. So now let us see the questions which is given to us. That is it is asking the address of class of the address. Since this address starts with 200, so this is class C, as we all know, and the default mask subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and the custom subnet mask is 255.255.255.192/26. Now since we borrowed 2 bits, we'll have total 4 subnets and the total number of host address is 64. That is we have 6 bits remaining, so that is 2 to the power 6, 64, which is the total number of host address, and the number of usable address is 62, because that is 64 minus 2, 62, because one address will be given as network address and one will be broadcast address, which cannot be used, and the number of bits borrowed is 4. Now let us check out the table. So our first network address will be the same. The first network address will be 200.175.14.0, and when it comes to the first valid address, it will be 14.1, 200.175.14.1. and coming to the last valid address, before that we'll see the next subnet will be 64. When we are borrowing bits, it's like 00, and that will be the first subnet, and second will be 01. So if we add the bits, it comes 64. So the next subnet address will be 200.175.14.64, and the broadcast address is the next subnet address minus 1. That's why we are giving here 200.175.14.63, and so the last address will be 200.175.14.62. so the in the subnet 2, the first valid address will be 200.175.65, since we cannot use the subnet address and the broadcast address. The next subnet will start from 128. So here it will be like, so the broadcast address will be 200.175.14.127, and the last valid address will be broadcast address minus 1, that is 200.175.14.126. so, and the first valid address we have already seen. So for the subnet 3, the network address, as we have discussed before, it's 200.175.14.128. first valid address will be 200.175.14.129. if I was supposed to create one more subnet, it should have been the network address should have been address should have been 200.175.14.192. That's why the broadcast address here is 200.175.14.191, and the last valid host address is 200.175.14.190, and here the first valid address is 200.175.14.129. So that's all about IP addressing and subnetting. Thank you.